Okay, the first presentation is about the 41CL update. Okay, what we're going to cover, some reference, pointers, the software that's going to run on the PC, how this thing works at high level, what component and how it works inside, and also the setup in order to do the update, doing an automatic flash update, manual flash update, and closing topics. This is a detail, but we're going to go through it. Okay, I did the same at the HHC as Angel. I forgot to thank people, so I move it at the second slide here. So I will have to thank Monte for his patience for me and for creating the CL. He's also the one who drive the 2 years ago I did a presentation on the 41CL update, but manually or semi-automatic update. And I did the same at the HHC. And after that, Monte contacted me saying, well, we need to do something better. And then I was agreeing that, with the same here, but with the tool that I had at the time, it was not really easy to do. So he stepped in and he took over the project in order that he create an update run in M code to do this. And then we discussed today, we split the responsibility with him and me and him. I was developing the PC side and he developed the 41 side. Robert, who did a lot of suggesting and modification and stuff to make this more easy to use. Angel, for his support, and he's also testing the first version of the updates. Okay, news that didn't exist 2 years ago. 41CL V5 is currently available. Monte still has 21 to sell. So if you don't have a 41 board and CL board, now it's the time to have it. The components are harder and harder to find. So it's probably that will be the last batch. He may do, if it's setting them, and he may be able to do another set of another batch, but it's always an unknown. If he's not able to find the component, then that will never happen. Also, when he developed, he tried several times to develop the time modules. I think he tried 4 times, and it didn't work the first 3 times, and the last time it worked. But in the process of doing it, he developed a standard board to do all kind of other boards. Other module, and it's called this flexible hardware module. And based on that, he was able to redo the time module based on this module, and it's currently available as inside soldering only right now. He has some issues with when he's connecting this to a normal port. That should be solved by now. But if you buy a 41CL V5 board, you can order also the time module, and you will solder this directly on the board. So you don't really need the time module, original module if you want. The only drawback on this is that it consumes more power than the original one. Because originally there was specific module made in NMOS and specific low power that you cannot do in FPGA. So he's using an FPGA to do this, so it's consuming a little bit more power than before. And he also developed other stuff. It's not selling it, but he did it, and he may at some point finalize the job. But he created a module for having created 2x memory, X function with 2x memories, a time module with 2x memories. He has enough space in the FPGA to do this. Also, right now is beta testing the GNSS module, the GPS module, and that should be available, I think, in 2019 or end of 2018, and have many more. He has made a presentation a month ago about this, and you can look at this and just see the video and look at it, and you see that he has the idea to create a flash NMC card reader that has a plug-in module behind it. You got all kinds of stuff that is USB port and whatever that is. So he does that all with an FPGA with the standard platform that he has developed. So this is very interesting. I will, if you have time, go look at the video and the pointer to manuals and what they are, the addresses. Okay. Now V4, the CL board, yes, there are 5 versions. The beta version of the V1 was with half a meg of RAM and 2 meg of flash. That's for you means 256 module that can go inside. And then over time, V2 has the same spec. V2 that was never sold. Sorry, V2 and beta was this one. V3 doubled the RAM and the flash, and V4 was mainly adding the capability as the 41CL to establish a serial link with another 41CL. That's the difference between V3 and V4. If you don't have two 41CL, it's not transparent for you. Well, there are some that have more than one. Yeah. So I'm the one who has more than one. And V5, V5 double the flash. So we can have 1024 module inside. Okay, how many was sold? Now Monte has gracefully give me the acceptance to publish his sales volumes. So you got a total of 432 board was made and 391 was sold. That means that he's have 21 left of the V5. And this is the batch he's making each time. So that the current one is the second batch of 50.
It's 40 left.
What?
It's 40 left.
No, there's not that. There are some that's not working.
Oh.
Because when you do hardware, you got defects. Okay, and sometimes either that is keeping that for him, or they are just not working. So that's this one. I think both didn't work. This one has more, a couple of that didn't work. Now, how this is distributed? You see that Europe has a lot of them. Okay, America second.
All in Allschwil.
No. Only today.
This is very interesting to see. I always thought that when the first time I published this 2 years ago, and the first time I was very surprised to see that North America was less board than made than Europe.
We need to sell somebody in Antarctic.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is the current module. I think we have 2 slides of this. No, just one. This is the standard. I was trying to put also another slide with Monte module until, not Monte, but Angel module until I saw his presentation. And I said, well, he will present that. But this is the standard one made by Monte. And when you power up the 41CL, the one that you have normally, it's the extra function. Okay. Don't remember. I think, is it this one or this one? But it's one of the two. I don't remember which one is. You remember which one when you start?
Z.
It's the Z. Yeah, it's the first. Okay.
The default one.
And this one are, those are main, this one is an you can use this one instead of this one or the extreme function. Now when you go deeper into the 41CL, as you understand it, you got more power with these functions. You got more options.
It's better user interface.
Yeah, but the other one is simpler. So it's depend on, for starter, this is good. When you understand what's going in, then you can use another one. Extreme library, this one is using, this is completely transparent. You don't know that it's there. It's mapping this automatically. This one is the module that we're gonna use. I'm gonna show today, the update modules. The clone module, that it was called host function before, and now it's changing that to the name of clone, but is if you want to update a CL from another CL. So you have a CL as reference, and you update the second one from the first one, you're going to transfer everything from one to the other. But you need 2 V4 or V5 to do this. Okay, the software I've done is in Java. Why Java? It's because it's multi-platform. So I'm using a Mac and Linux. I'm not using Windows, but a lot of persons are using Windows. So that's the using this is the reason behind it was to be able to use it everywhere. And also, I was able to, by installing a standard Java runtime, I could take all the library I'm using it and packaging this into only one file as a distribution. So you don't need to fetch the communication libraries and all the libraries I'm using. So I took all the library, unpacked them, and created one package out of everything. So it was simpler for distribution. Okay, the goal of the software is to ease the process of maintaining your 41 up to date, 41CL. You can transfer individual ROM image, or you can do an automatic update. Also, you will be able, right now you're not, but you will be able to create your own, for the one who are interested, your own zip file and your own FLDB and ML, the database file. So you can have your own distribution if you really want to go into it. Okay, this is how to install Java, but I'm going to go fast here. Installation, you just need to download, you have to create a local folder that where you're going to put all the file. And then you download the file, the update here. If you go into the website of Monte, you have on the files page, you got the file, a link, just click on it, and that will download that file. And when you unzip the file, you get 3 files. The release note, the program itself, and the small README. Manual is still not there. That's after this. I will put priority on this and finally write the manual, which is way overdue. Okay, when you start the program, you just need to do Java -jar, and then you specify the program. If you don't do any parameters or say --help, you're going to have all the commands that are available. So, and what it does. Now, if you want to see the manual, you just said --manual, and it will give you pages of all the commands, all the options, and so on, that you could redirect that into a file if you want and see it. And also has specific things for V2, V3s, and V5 boards. So, validate ROM file. I suggest that every time you get a file from Monte, and I'm going to show you where to, if you go to file again, you will see that you have the latest file there. Monte has also had, upon my discussion that we had with him at the PPC, at the HHC, he has put all the archive file, all the previous ROM file has been put online also. If you want to go back, or you have update your 41CL up to a version and you didn't keep the file, now you can download the file and then make a comparison between that old file and your current file, and then you will see what is the difference. Okay? So if you want to, sometimes Monte normally check this, but sometimes you forgot and put online the zip file, and the first time I do all the time when I get the zip file, I do a validate. Validate, check the integrity of the file. Is it missing ROM file? Is the CSV file inside fit with everything? So he's checking everything with everything, and if it's okay, then he will have nothing here. If it's not okay, you will have something here that say, well, the file is missing, or the CRCR is not good, or whatever. So you know that you have an issue, that at that time you contact Montes and you have a ROM file that needs to be updated. I do this sometime, Angel also. Now also based on discussion that I had with Monte at the last HHC, he was publishing the ROM file, everything that was a new ROM available, but it was taking him several hours each time. So I suggest to him that he's reducing that once each month. So starting right now, he's doing it each month. So it's less work for him, because this is a lot of work just keeping this up to date. for him. Okay, also you can list, if you want, the content of the ROM file, so you will list everything with all the CRC, and this is validated as it's listed. So you can know what's inside. The other option is that, when I was talking before, the diff, you can check between two files, two ROM files, and you're going to see for a V2, a V3 or V4, and a V5, what's different. So this is very handy when you do a manual update, because automatic upgrade is simple, but it takes long. Scanning can take up to 3 hours, depending on if you have a V5 or a V2, it's less. So if you want to do, and you know that you just update a month ago, and only 3 ROM has been changed, so what you can do is you say, okay, open up the communication, give me the database, tag the one that is outdated, and then do an update. That cut the time by more than half. So, but in order to do that, you need to do a diff before. So you can query the 41CL, which version do you have, and based on that you fetch the good run, and then you do a diff, and then you know what are not good, and then you tag and do the update. So the diff is handy, but if you do an automatic update without anything, that's useless, you don't need it. You can also do a ROM image transfer. If you want to manually transfer ROM into ROM or into RAM, you can do it both ways. And Flash also, but Flash is more complicated writing to it. But reading, transferring from PC to 41CL in RAM, this is very easy. You just need to initialize the serial port to specify the address and start the 41CL program and the exporting mode of the 41CL program and the importing function of the CL and of the PC and the CL, and it's going to work. So this is very easy also, and the other wire from CL to computer. So basically what you do is that you say in this guy, download the ROM, the serial port, and the baud rate. And that's basically it. And you specify the address on the CL and you do the export. Yeah.
Why does it take so long time to update normally, a complete update? What is the bottleneck?
I will show you.
Okay.
Flash update. Okay, technical stuff. ROM, the flash is NOR, if I remember correctly. Yeah, the 41CL use NOR flash. So it's more like direct memory instead of hard drive. Normally when you buy a flash stick, it's NAND flash. It's different. I have more capacity, but also even though the 41, the ROM is 4K, remember that it's 10 bits. So 4K 10 bits doesn't translate well into current world who is byte oriented. So in order to do that, Monte has to use 2 bytes in order to store 10 bits. He's also using the other bits for something for the internal CL ROM, but basically it's 2 bytes from 1 byte. So one 4K module is 4K word translated to 8K byte. So that's why you have, for 64K flash block, you can only store 8 ROMs. Okay, and not 16 if it was really 4K. That's it for that. Updates. How it works. The protocol. Basically, you got higher level commands and lower level commands. So when you do a CM update, CM open, what the 41CL does is basically send, it's set up the serial port, set the baud rate, it's fixed as 4800 bauds, okay, and send a character 41, with the A character, EXA, and then that's telling this, and the Java program is receiving that, and is answering with the B character, sending 42. And then at that point, the 41 say, okay, the serial port is open. Okay. You need to do this each time. If in the middle of an update you're shutting down the 41CL, if you bring it up, open up on again, you have to do a CM open. Because when the CL is going into off mode, it's closing the COM port. So when you power on again, you have to do a CM open, even though you're in the middle of an update that you're going to continue afterwards. You still need, and this is it's very easy to do, and it doesn't stop what you were doing before. When you do the flash check, this is a high-level function that really called 3 functions inside. And those are also available if you do it manually, that you're using. CDB import is asking the PC side, give me the FLDB file. So that's where you got all the database of the files that's there. And it put that into a special place. That's the file that's going to modify as a scan to store which ROM has been modified and which not. Then after that, it's going to check, call this each time, if I have a V2, meaning that I have 256 module, it's going to call this 256 times. Okay? And then at the end, it's going to do a CDB export. It's going to give the PC the file. When the PC is receiving the file, it's checking that with what it has sent, and it's creating a report of the missing file. Not the missing, but the file changed. Okay? That's what's the 41. Then after when we do a file update, this is scanning part, okay? And then you got, so when you do it normally, automatically you're going to do a CM open, start the program on the PC, you do a CM open, then a flash check, then a file update, and then a close. That's all you have to do, okay? And let's say you start this, sometime it can take 2 hours, you go away, you come up, the 41 is off, because that's finished. You were not there to see it. It's finished, it's okay. On the PC you see the report, but it's off. So you're gonna put it on again, you do a CM open, because the communication port has been closed, and then you do this file update. And it's gonna do a file update like it was continue where it was before it went off. And then when you finish, you do a CM close. So that's what you, just 4 steps that you need to do, plus starting the program on the PC. That's basically it. Now, if you do a manual update, that you need to understand a little bit more deeper, but this is always working. So basically, a flash update, and I have another slide that it's okay. This all the color that you see here I have put in words what it's doing with the color that goes with it. So if you want the CM open, you see in the same open communication channel. Okay, this is doing a scan flash memory for outdated ROM image in flash, and then for each is what it's doing. So if you have the protocol, and this is you have the meaning of this what it's doing. Okay. So when it does a flash update, basically it's taking the scan that it does previously, and then for each blocks, because flash works in blocks of 64K in this kind. And if you want to update only one ROM image of the 64K, we need to take the 64K from flash, copy that into RAM, download the new ROM into RAM, then or ROM or multiple ROMs into that block, then erase the flash and copy back the RAM into flash. For each block you have to do this. Copy the block into RAM, download, update the RAM, and then erase flash and copy back. Okay, so this is for all the flash blocks that need to be done. So again, different view of the same things, but now with the program running, the ROM file, serial communication, what it does, where to store it in it. So you got download the flash page, validate what it does for each page, and then after that, send the sending back the command. So it's another view, and for each block what it does, I'm gonna go over. So timing, based on the question that you have, basically was, I was trying to, for when I released v1.1, one of the requests that I had with version 1.0 was that how much time it takes to do an update. And people at some point was stopping in the middle of it saying, well, it's stuck. So in order to answer that, I manually evaluate the time for each function to do, and then with a smart formula come up with the time, and then integrating that into the program. So when you do that part, it will give you the maximum update time it's going to take, and it's based on those time. And you see that where it loses most of the time is when you do a write to the flash. A page is taking 1/20 second for a 64K byte to copy from RAM to flash. So all the command when you're doing a CM open is instantaneous. A close also 19 seconds to download the flash, the file from the PC to the CL. It's 4,800 baud, so it's 4,800 bits per second that it's downloading. So it's the check for each run. It does. It's 10 seconds per run. Per run.
Sorry guys, I have to catch a train. Enjoy.
Okay. I enjoy. So if you have 256 run, it's 256 times 10. If I have 500 runs, so it's basically the time it takes. So scanning, a full scan of a V2 is 43 minutes. It's 1 hour 25 minutes for a V43 through a V4 and 2 hours 51 minutes for a V5. But you run it and you don't care because you can leave it, it's going to do what it needs to be done, and when it's finished, if you didn't cancel the beeper, you're going to have a beep saying I'm finished. And that's it. And if you're not there, it's going off. You know that when you power it on back, you just need to do a CM open and then the update. It will do it. Runtime. So if I have only one page in a block to update, it's going to take that. If I have 5 page, the worst case is 8 pages, taking 5 minutes 12 seconds when I have to update all the pages inside the block. But that's not always the other case. Sometimes one block is only 1 page and the other is maybe 5 or 4 or 5. So it's so that's basically the time it takes for 1 page and for a full scan. Okay, setup. Now you have a new procedure and an old procedure. Why you have a new procedure and an old procedure for setup is that the real question is if you have a 41CL that has the update 3B ROM inside, in the flash. If it's in the flash, then it's easy because you just need to map that ROM. If it's not there, you need to download it from the PC to a RAM space in the 41CL and then do this update with that. The next one after that you will not need to do this because it will be in the flash for the next time. So for a person that has bought a 41CL and hasn't updated since 3 years ago, 4 years ago, for sure you don't have the update 3B because it's been released a year ago. So everything older in the update than a year, you need to do the old procedure. But the new procedure is easy. I'm doing a disable the memory, the MMU, clearing it because I don't know your setup. So I'm trying to do here a procedure that will work all the time. But if you know what you're doing, you don't necessarily need to do that because you know. But if you don't, then this means that you're losing your current configuration that you have done with the CL. That means that you're losing all the mapping of the ports. But you can do it afterward if you have done it first. And then you plug the extended functions, the update, and then you enable the MMU. So with those two modules, then if you do a catalog 2, you will see update 3B. That means that you have the module is active. Now the second thing you need to do as a preparation is to check which ROM you have, which version, which ROM file you used the last time to do the update. Here was, in my example that I'm going to do here, it was September 25th. So And I'm going to update in the example from 25th to the 28th. And they were, in the case of a V2, there were 5 ROM outdated. So, and I get this with FDB versions. I'm querying the 41, the active ROM of the 41CL, and say which version you have, and this is the version that I'm getting. Now, at that point, if I have not keeping it on the PC, I will go to the Monte website, download that ROM, download the new ROM, and do a diff between the two. And I will know what are the difference between my version of the CL and the latest one. But if you do everything automatically, you can do it, you will know. But you don't need a diff because you do everything automatic. Now the old procedure is more complex because you have to download the ROM. So how are you going to do this? You disable the NNU, clearing out the setup, plugging the YFNX, the extended functions, activate the NNU, initialize the serial port, setting up to 4800 bauds, and then you have to specify an address where you put it, okay, and the length where it's going to go. And then I'm starting to do the Y import, but I'm not finishing it. I'm just saying execute alpha YEMP and staying it there, and you're going to know why soon. When I'm doing the update, I will say, okay, upload the update 3B ROM using that serial and the speed, and I will do enter. When I do enter, it will show you this, and at that point you have 5 seconds to press the alpha on the 41CL. So when you see this, then you just need to press alpha, and it's going to wait 5 seconds on this side. But this because you're pressing later on, so everything is correct. So at that point, when you see this, you see serial sending, and when it's finished, everything is you are back into the normal X, what you had in X before, and the PC side is going to finish. Now the thing I do normally after that is I specify the same address as here, and I do a YCRC just to be sure that everything worked correctly. So it's doing a CRC of the ROM. I'm saying this, and when you download it, you have it here. So if the two are not equal, then something happened on the transmission. You have to redo the transmission. Happens sometime. But you could see it on. If you really looking when you finish this, if it's not working correctly, if you go to alpha, you will see the last byte it was able to download correctly. I didn't show this here because you have to start over again anyway. So you do a CRC, that's more easy. You say you know that it's different, then you just need to redo those steps. And normally, if it's not working the first time, it's going to work for the second time. After that, I'm going to check to have hardware issues. Something is not plugged correctly, or that's where you can see that. But because this should never happen, just a security. And then I need to plug it. The RAM. So I'm specify -80F because this is the address with the port 9 here, and I'm using the PP plug of the extended function, and that's gonna plug, and then I do a catalog to NFC the RAM. So basically, if you have you have not updated your board, or the version of the flash that you have inside your board is more than 1 year, in September last year, then you need to do the old procedure once. And after that, just do the new procedure, and that will be more easier. Clean up. You have to invalidate the CDB file that you have, just as a security measure to be sure that when everything is updated and everything is working, after the update, you clean up this, you disable, and then you do the cleanup. Update will be the flash update automatic. While you run the the PC software, actually the PC software is a server, or is not doing any action. It's waiting for the 41CL to request something, and it's the 41CL that's in control of all the updates. So we're running the PC side, but really it's like a server. Okay. 41CL open communication channel, scan the flash, update the flash, close, and then you validate it if everything is correct. So that's the step that you need to do. So start and open. Just I specify Java -jar, the version, -- update, the ROM file I'm using, the serial port, and the speed. You're gonna see this. And when it's doing this, is open up the zip file, validate the content. The same thing as if you do a validate is doing it. Each time is loading the file, just to be sure that you don't have something corrupt. And then it's opening the file, and that's it. At any time, you can press Control C, and everything was closed gracefully. This is trapped. This is for Control C is trapped, so it's going to close the communication channel, close the file. It may take some time, and you're going to see that it's waiting, closing everything. So there is no. If you start this and you realize, oh, I used the wrong, not the good file or the file I want to use, press Control C, everything was controlled, and you restart with the good file. Do a CM open. You will see the protocol that the command, the character that was sending. I'm showing this. So you see, it has received a request and has sent a response. So you know that something happened. When you do the update, in this example, I'm using a V2 because it was faster to do, and also I'm updated to the September 25th version, and now I'm updating to September 28th of this year. That's the last update. So what you're gonna see, I'm specify star in the alpha, meaning I want to scan everything. Okay, and I'm do FL check. I'm doing this, and this inside is going to do these step inside. And you will see that when it's doing this step, you will see import 806. That's where it's putting his file that's going to be updated as a scan. So you will see that the PC side is receiving the request for the 2 megabyte FLDB file, and is sending the file, and you have which version is sending the CRC and everything. And the estimated time. So you see it, estimated full scan time is 43 minutes and 18 seconds here for a V2, and it's going to be 1 hour something or 2 hours something over V4 and V5. And then it's going to call this for each ROM that you need to know. So you will see CRC001, CRC002, and each time it takes, I don't remember, 10 or 20 seconds, 10 seconds I think to do each time. And you will see keep alive and then some parentheses going at, it's going to receive that 256 times. And I'm limiting to 32 parentheses. So you know that something happened, and then after 32 is going to do another line, and so on. So, and then when it's finished, it's going to do an export. And this is the result of internal scan. It's sending back the CF and the FLDB file. And I'm doing a report of what's different between what was sent and what is received. So you know right now, and I'm giving you, based on what's different, how much time it's going to take for the update itself. Here, for a full scan, it took 43 minutes. And for the update, after that, it's going to take 7 minutes. Okay, you have 2 blocks. It says you have 5 outdated pages out of the 256, and over 2 flash blocks. So 4 pages on one block and the other pages in one block. So that's where I come up with the 7 minutes and so on. Then you specify star again. Normally it's still there, but I'm putting it back because SCAM doesn't replace this. And you do a full update. So what it does is basically copy flash to RAM. And then for each page that is invalidated, it's different, it's going to do a page import. So get the page, asking the page to the PC. I'm showing which page has been requested, and I'm sending back this. And it's going to erase, in this block he has only one file to update, one RAM. It's going to erase the flash, update, copy the RAM to the flash. and then doing RAM to flash, flash to RAM, and this second page, second blocks, he has 4 pages to update, and for each request, you see the file has been requested. And then after that, he's doing an erase and the update, and it's finished. You say update done at the end. And then what you do after that is close and FDB update, and you see that you have the update. So basically, it's a 4-step. Open, scan, update, and close. You have a question for this, or is...
Yes.
Yes?
You mentioned the 4800 board.
Yeah.
This seems to be the bottleneck.
Yeah.
Why is it 4800?
Because that's what Monte came up that was working all the time.
That's very low. You could be 24 times faster if you use 150,000.
Yeah, but the fastest time I could use in 9600, that it was not, sometime it didn't work perfectly, so we went up to 9600 to 4800.
So he has to find a bug.
Well, I don't know. I remember asking Monte about this, but unfortunately I don't remember the answer on it. That's a question that we have to ask Monte, but that's right now. That's but actually, I think that's the download is not really an issue. It's taking 10 seconds, yes, but the scanning is not take longer. Okay, and the update, that's what's killing us. It's 120 seconds to erase to write to from RAM to flash.
Well, I have a similar update featuring the LP circuit, and I have no RAM for updating, so I have only flash. And I have to write 4K pages of flash during update. And the only solution was to copy one flash page, which will be updated, to a free flash.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And then you have a copy, and you can change.
Yeah.
And then erase this new flash page and write the new contents. And then you can use the
But
flash page
I'm
again.
not. Monte knows exactly why. I never asked him the lowest details of the FPGA or the limitation of the flash is using or the timing or.
If it is a bug and he didn't find it, then he makes you a lot of work to write this program.
Well, actually, no, because this was. It's not really a. There's a protocol that's been defined, okay, and I'm just responding to that protocol, basically. So the time, if we could shorten that time, yeah, it's going to be faster for you, but it's not less or more complex. Because he's copying this into RAM. We update the RAM. We have to download the RAM from PC to the CL and then write to the flash.
Yeah, but if it is 24 times faster with a higher baud rate, then you don't need to optimize the. You can always flash the whole contents, and it would be.
No, we don't want that. Well, yeah, I understand that, but what happened is that I need to. That's why you do the GTAG connection. If you want, that's what I did the first time. I opened up the board, connected a GTAG on it, and write for it. Easy for me. That's if I want to do it for me.
But you need a programmer for that.
Yeah, but I'm fully equipped to do embedded programming, so that's for me. That's not an issue. But for I would say 99% of the user of the CL, they don't have the knowledge, and I'm assuming in maybe 80% or whatever. But for a lot of person, I would say the majority of the person doesn't know necessarily how to set up a thing for him.
If the user has the full baud rate, which is normally 150,000, 200, then he could always use the full flash of the whole contents in a reasonable time. And I think Monte should look for a solution.
Well, we have one.
Yes.
Okay, that's working. It's already developed. We could. I could ask Monte to if there was a way to speed up the communication. And after the case, we're gonna remove the bottleneck, really, of the timing of the transmission timing. Now you have the other issues of copying from RAM to flash. That's where no communication issue with this, and it's internal. Why it's taking 120 seconds doing it? Now I don't know, and I'm not. I'm not, no, not twice, because when it's copying from RAM, from flash to RAM, it's not taking that time. The copy itself, reading from it is flash, writing to it is slow.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's using NOR flash, not NAND flash.
Yeah.
So it's maybe that's the issue, because NOR flash is slower than NAND normally.
Yeah.
So
This could be a reason
that's
for-
something that you could ask him,
Yeah. Okay. I will do.
because I don't, and it's the person to ask. So we have a solution that is working. Takes time, but it's automatic. So you can start it, leave, and then we come back.
What is the complete memory of the whole CL? How many megabytes?
8 megabytes. For V5, it's 8 megabytes of external flash. Because it's not in, it's a chip outside the FPGA, it's not in the FPGA itself.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm assuming that it's using probably, I don't remember, but I'm assuming it's using not an I2C, but the other serial interface. Okay, yeah, sure. Now, if you want to do a manual flash update,
8 megabytes would last 12 minutes with the higher baud rate. If there is no other bottleneck
Yeah.
than writing to flash.
okay. So you got manual flash update. Basically, manual flash update is the same automatic, but instead of doing the automatic scan, you download manually the database file, you tag the files, and then you upload the file, and then the update is the same. So basically, what I do a FDB version. I was in 25, September 25th. Okay, then I download the latest version, it was the 28th. I do a diff. The diff tell me that those are different, and this is a page that are different. Okay, but if I do a full scan, it's gonna take me 40 minutes or 50 minutes for V2. So I don't want to spend for 5 RAM that time. So what I do, and this is the page. I have a table that shows, okay, this one updated into that page, and the other 4 into the other page. So I know that I have 2 pages. So what I'm doing, basically, starting the program with the latest RAM file, doing an open as I did before. The only really difference here is that I'm going to do manually the low-level commands. So I'm doing manually a CDB import, with copying from the PC to the CL, the database. Then I'm specifying in alpha the address of the one that is outdated, and I'm doing a page invalidation. So basically it's marking to the database that page it's outdated. I notice here that those are the pages that are different from the previous version. So I have my pages. So I do this. And when I do this, Monte, after the page invalidation, add 1 to the address here. So I have 0DF. But for me right now, it's not really important. And do the other one, 0E0 page invalidation. The other one, 0E3 page invalidation. But it's happened that here, it's 0, E3, E4, and E5 consecutive. So because it's adding 1 each time, I'm just doing the first one, and then page invalidation, and he's gonna add 1. So when you have consecutive RAM, you just specify the address of the first one, do the others, and when it's finished, this is my 4-page, 1, 2, 3, 5-page, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I'm doing an export. I'm seeing my report, and I verified this against what I saw with the diff before. Both are the same. I didn't screw it up. So I do file update. And it does all those here inside. I could, if I really want, to do it manually, if everything manual, but anyway, at the end, that will do the same. And I'm do a close FDB version to see everything is correct. So you can, if you don't want to mess with things, you do automatically. It takes more time, but it's automatic. If you want to really optimize, like I do often, I have a couple of pages. I manually do the update, and it's faster. Well, what's coming? I need to finish the manual. Yes, I'm late. I will at some point publish the source code, and I'm migrating also to OpenJDK 11. The issue is that with Oracle taking control of the Java, has changed the rules and the licensing, and for you it's still okay, but for me it's not. So I need to move that to OpenJDK. Right now with JDK 8 I'm still okay, but with the JDK 11 that will not be the case. So I need to test this and make this sure that it works. Should work out of the box, it's just that I haven't tried yet. What's coming for the next update? Monty, who does a lot of 41CL update, want to be able to do one scan, save the CDB file on the PC, and then restart the update program specifying that database file. So it only need to do open, update, close, open. It's easy for him to, actually he's going to do open, CDB import, and then update and close each time. It's faster. He's skipping the scanning part. So, and skipping also the manual tagging. So that has been coded. Right now I'm debugging this. So that will able to do when you have multiple CL, or if you want to test with things. V1.3 will introduce a configuration file when you could put your port, the things that you specify all the time. So if there's a file, instead of giving this on the command line, you will use the file instead. 1.4 will have a diff2 that will do the scanning on a PC side instead of the 41CL side. So you specify the 2ROM, it's going to take the 2ROM, create the CDB file, the FCFLDB and FINDB and whatever. And the version 1.5 with the -- build will allow you to do your own distribution. If you want to go there and say, well, I'm not using Monte, I want to use mine, set up my memory map. So you're going to create a CSV file, and then you're going to put all the file that with the build will take that, create all the file that's needed to do it, and then you are on your own to manage your own memory map. So that's the plan. That's what I discussed with Monte a month ago. Okay, questions? You have other questions or no? Okay.
I'm not a 41 man. Otherwise I would have questions.
Okay.